guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm doing a review of the beautiful Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and I have had this deck. A lot of these reviews, I've actually had these decks for a few years now, so I think now I can do a review on them, I don't bust this deck out very often. But when I do, it's very awesome. So I will sometimes read with this alone in a spread. Sometimes I'll use it for daily draws. But most of the time I incorporate it into readings for my clients and use it as like a theme card. Although, sometimes I do kind of use it within the spreads of their readings. But let's take a look at this beautiful box and the fantastic artwork that you guys will see on these cards. And this is by Blue Angel Publishing. So not only can you get it on their website, but you can also grab it on the Amazon. So, nice sturdy box, looks like new. I've had it for, quite a few years now, and it's beautiful. It's perfect. And it has perfectly protected my cards. So it's got this beautiful red interior, and I just want to take a look at the guidebook first before we have a look at our lovely cards. And so a very substantial guidebook, by the way, and I always feel that you should give the guidebook at least a look, even if you're not a guidebook kind of person, because the author has put some time into the guidebook. I at least like to see where they got their inspiration from, kind of what they want to say about their deck. As I have already put my guidebook together for my deck, I hope that people take a gander. Okay, so got your intro. A little about, not just Kuan Yin, but like why this wild Kuan Yin. So it talks about the energy that goes with it. And you got your table of contents. And again, you have your introduction here. And it's talking about the artwork and all of that. It says, I kept having the idea of a naughty Kuan Yin, that irrepressible, rebellious, divinely defiant spirit that is alive in all the holy ones from many spiritual traditions around the world. I love that. See, that's why I love to, give little guidebooks just a little look through and just kind of find out where they got their inspiration from, what was the idea behind the deck. And then it goes into like who is Kuan Yin, if you're not familiar with that goddess. And then of course, your how to use this, single card readings, some suggested readings, or suggested card spreads. And I always, if there's a card spread that is particular to this deck, I will always try the cards with that card spread first. Then it goes into your card messages, and it is in black and white. Okay, so kind of what Alana Fairchild likes to do, she gives like a little message from the card, and then this is the actual sentence you would see on the card, and then here she goes into more detail about what all that means, and then usually she has like a little, yeah, here we go, a healing process. So she'll have like a little meditation to use with the card in order to go about that particular type of healing that was announced in the card. And then it does that for all the cards. Some of the cards are vertical, and some of them, here we go, like this one, some of them are landscape. So if that bothers you, probably going to be bothered by it. For me, it's not really that big a deal. So here is the artist of this beautiful deck. Ugh, I think I love his art so much. And then you have, of course, about your author. There she is. Okay, so let's dive into the cards, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to put this back here, And I'm gonna grab this. So this is your typical oracle size. I don't know, like 3.5 by 5.5 or 3.25 by 5.5, something like that. You know, I can easily, you know, side shuffle them. If you have smaller hands, I don't know, you might want to top shuffle. You know, so I do that with bigger decks. If I can't side shuffle them, I top shuffle them, or I just kind of, you know, drop them inward without bending them, by the way. So let's just get in so you guys can see the backs. So it looks like this old gold stamped backing of this like phoenix. You know, definitely got that wild child vibe going on with this wild Kuan Yin. Beautiful red color, which is, you know, luck and vitality, good fortune, all kinds of good stuff. It is rather glossy, so it does have a coating on it. And they're pretty thick cards, and they have stood the test of time, because like I said, I've had these for a few years now, and I know I'm just getting around to doing a review, but they've been used a lot. and they're still in perfect condition, so I wouldn't be worried about messing these cards up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the wild Kuan Yin. I'm going to try to make sure that you guys don't get a glare on it. And first, I just want to show you this very first one so you guys can see how much detail goes into this artwork. Like, how freaking rad is that? And then you have Blessing of the Kite Dancer. And I would say this maybe is one of the few decks, like if I'm just doing a daily draw for myself, that I actually use the guidebook quite a bit. I think Alana Fairchild decks are the only ones that, like, that's the only person I use a lot of her guidebooks on, because I think she has a lot of really wonderful things to say. I like her perspective, and although I do love using my intuition, I prefer also incorporating her guidebooks into my readings. Like for this one, let's say for instance, I could look into this and get a lot of information from the image, you know, on what this might mean or what it means as it pertains to my reading. But then it says, her joy renders the impossible task possible. But I'm also curious, like, what does Alana Fairchild have to say about that card? So I love to consult Alana Fairchild's guidebooks. I think they're beautifully written. And I love how everything is like in this like dream world floating. Just so much movement and action, and like here she is, like there, like the earth is way down here. She's like floating above the earth with her buffalo. Or maybe it's her yak. But yeah, they're just like, whoo, just everybody's like all upside down and floating everywhere. I love that. I love all the action just kind of flying off. Just everything is surreal, you know? It's like a dream. And I love that because, well, I believe we are our wildest in our dreams. Our wildest dreams. You know, I'm thinking before bed tonight, I'm actually going to bust this deck out because this deck is now calling to me as I do this deck review. I'm like, hey, you got a lot to say. I'm feeling a lot of vibes with this one. I'm trying to cut down on the glare, you guys. I'm trying. So pretty. I love this one. The Snow Shepherdess. You know, I was actually just playing in the snow earlier today. I don't actually live where it snows. I actually have to drive about 20 minutes east to go see a little bit of snow. And if you drive 20 minutes west, you can get to the beach. I love being centrally located in San Diego. I'm like so spoiled, you know, here in San Diego. Actually, when we ran into some snow, we decided to pull over like just outside of Julian and stop at Mom's Apple Pie Company for some famous apple pie and some pumpkin pie. And my dude was in his shorts and t-shirt because, you know, that's how we do here in San Diego. And it was snowing. We are not prepared for such things. We live life on the wild side. I do have a feel like when I use this deck, it's very straightforward, yet gentle. It does push you in your comfort zones. Your comfort zone, I believe. You know, so if you're thinking about doing something or you have some sort of block, like this deck really wants to push you, like saying, hey, like just go for it. But it does it in such a loving, caring way, you know. But it is straightforward. It's not like really beating around the bush or anything. It's like, hey, you need to do this. But like that, I'm here to support you. Actually, I used to get this card quite a bit. The slave dances into freedom. Almost like the Fool card, I think, in tarot. And let your world spin on its axis. Actually, this was another card I used to get, and I dug that message when it came up. So what I'm going to do for you guys, number one, I'm going to give this a little shuffle. So as you can see, I don't mind side shuffling it. However, if your hands are a little bit smaller, you may want to top shuffle like so. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a card just so you can see how it reads. And I'm actually going to consult Alana Fairchild on this one. So I'm going to get a little shuffle again. And I'm just asking what message we need for our best and highest good. Looks like we have our card, and our card is Play With Me. So let's get in on that image. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, so that's number 15, Play With Me. So let's look her up. Okay. I'm just going to read this portion right here. You've taken the hard road many a time, and it's led you here to a place where a different way to take your journey now beckons. There is a new approach to the art of manifestation that I want to share with you. It involves joy and pleasure, even when it may seem as though such delights are far from appropriate. To explore this new approach, you will need to let go of the struggles you have endured and your past suffering. You do not have to deny what you have been through, nor do you need to ignore your feelings. But you do need to be willing to put all that behind you now. You will not lose anything through doing this except your past pain. This letting go does not have to be difficult or traumatic. If you allow yourself to truly let go, I will initiate you into an approach to life and manifesting your dreams that can be uplifting rather than exhausting. Acknowledge all that you have endured, but give yourself permission to release it now. It has served a purpose. Now it is time for another way. And of course, it'll go into a lot more information, and there will be a healing that goes with it. So there's this little healing prayer here. I think that's a beautiful message. So yeah, there you go. That is the Wild Kuan Yin by Alana Fairchild. And yeah, let me know if you've had this deck for yours, like me. Or maybe you have any comments or questions about that. You know, post that in the comment section down below. I will make sure to get back to you. And you know, my purpose of doing the reviews, not only do I want to put beautiful artwork out there, and I'm not trying to pressure anybody. I'm not trying to say you need to go out and buy this, like what? That's not it at all. If there are people who are interested in purchasing it, then I hope you were able to clearly see all of the cards so that you can make your decision based off of that. If you're not looking to buy anything and you're just looking for beautiful art, then hey, I hope that you were able to look at that large set of beautiful pieces of artwork. So yeah, hey, if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading with me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot, where I have lots of different goodies for my homies over there. I have mediumship live streams. Today I just did a guided meditation live stream for the heart chakra. I have monthly crystal grids that I do, complete with affirmation and how to recreate it in your home. I have weekly readings specifically for my Patreon peeps. I have bi-yearly readings, like personal readings for certain Patreon peeps, and there's just a lot of good stuff over there, so if you're interested in any of that, definitely go check that out. And that's it for me, your spiritual homies, so I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out!